Hi, I'm Angus Kress Gillespie, your host for Old Ways in New Jersey. I'm here today with Devon Perry, the Executive Director of New Jersey Wine Growers Association. That's a role that she has taken on in 2022. Under her leadership, she aims to enhance visibility of New Jersey's wine industry through various marketing initiatives and initiatives that support women in the wine sector. Devon Perry has over 20 years of experience in marketing and communications. She has a strong background in public relations and community engagement. Her mission includes reinvigorating the Passport program for visiting wineries and increasing support for women in the New Jersey wine business. And it's my pleasure to welcome her to our studio today. Devon, what first drew you to the wine industry in the beginning?
When I was a young girl, my family had wine tasting dinners with executives from around the greater Philadelphia area. And it was my role in our family to simply distribute and collect the ballots for the guests' preferences at those dinners. And every Sunday, my grandfather would host BYOB dinners for my family at different restaurants in and around greater Philadelphia and New Jersey. So he really inspired me to be an active participant in the hospitality and tourism industry, and specifically the wine industry.
And over the years, how has your role evolved?
Well, from being an assistant ballot collector to an executive director at the Garden State Wine Growers.
That's quite an evolution.
Just a little bit. It just evolved a little bit. No. So I would say that from my experience with my family, I grew into a person very interested in the nonprofit sector, interested in destinations, attracting individuals from all over the world. What are their core competencies? How do they market those? How do they reach folks to travel? So that led me into Visit South Jersey, which is the official destination marketing organization representing 125 municipalities between Philadelphia, Atlantic City, and South, which covers the largest expanse of the wine, the largest AVA in the state of New Jersey, the Outer Coastal Plain.
Yeah. And how many wineries are there in New Jersey altogether?
Between wineries and vineyards, there are over 60. Wineries with tasting rooms, around 57. And I say that because there are some just about to come online.
Yeah.
And we are in a beautiful state that's known for so much. So to see the wineries flourish and grow over the past 2 to 3 decades has been really important and impressive.
And how many are members of Garden State Wine Growers Association?
Well, they're all represented by the Garden State Wine Growers Association because we're the official nonprofit deemed by the Department of Agriculture, representing all New Jersey wineries, vineyards, and allied businesses and voices in the state.
And how does New Jersey compare with the wine industry of, say, California?
Well, we are the originators of the oldest international campaign attracting people to eat our produce, Jersey Fresh. So when I answer a question like that, I have such pride and admiration for the other commodity groups in the state. At the Ag Convention, there are 90 delegates representing all growers in the state of New Jersey, 90. To be really specific, however, we have people who talk about our corn and our peaches and our tomatoes and our blueberries and our cranberries as award-winning international crops. So our grapes, going back to New Jersey, we're basically little California out here on the East Coast. We have our own unique style. We grow over 80 varieties of grapes. Wow. We have 4 AVAs, so they're American Viticultural Appellations, so we say AVA for short.
Yeah.
And that has to get a federal designation.
Wow.
We have 4. California has over 150 AVAs. So going back to your question, we are an easier, tight-knit, very stitched together group of destination wineries, whereas California is much more spread out. But they have invested a great deal in marketing to the East Coast because we're, the most densely populated state in the country.
And how do you compare New Jersey wineries with those in New York State?
I would say the very similar answer. It all goes back to the roots of our vines. We still have exceptional soil and growing conditions. Our brothers and sisters in New York State who are making great products, they love also visiting New Jersey to see what's in store for the grapes that grow well down here. I would say that our wines and our people are closely tied together with all of the Northeast wine growing destinations, and New York is definitely one that we've collaborated with in the past as well.
Yeah. And can you tell us a little bit about the different regions in New Jersey?
Absolutely. So in New Jersey, we have 4 AVAs. Up north is Warren Hills. So that is, imagine where the Hunterdon County area is. And we have then bordering the water and then straddling into Pennsylvania is the Central Delaware Valley AVA. There are only 2 wineries that sit in that designated area. And then going a little bit further down south, you have the outer coastal plain between Philadelphia and Atlantic City south. There are over 30 wineries that sit in that AVA. And then Cape May Peninsula is actually a sub-AVA, but we've referred to all 4 very clearly. There's another application in the Hunterdon County area near where Beneducci is, which is hopefully going to get its approval soon.
And do you work with the Rutgers Agricultural Extension Services?
We do. We love working with our friends at Rutgers, including yourself. Gary Pavlis. We have a couple of people that have been incredible. Dan Ward. They are movers and shakers, not only behind the scenes, but behind the vines. Yeah. So Gary has had Grape Expectations, which is a symposium for us, which we love, and he brings wonderful speakers into the market. And there's a lot of great research that has been done with Dr. Larry Koya and Dr. Dan Ward, and they have produced many interesting writings about the industry too.
And then there's the Rutgers Grape Research.
Yes, which is absolutely critical to what happens next. So we need to make sure that we're keeping up with innovation when it comes to research, making sure that our growers have been passed that information. So coming up, there will be a twilight session where people will be learning about what's been going on with our friends at Rutgers.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit about the Passport program.
So in the Garden State, now that we're coming back from behind the vines, we're going to the tasting rooms.
Yeah.
Our goal is to have people want to visit New Jersey wine country and stay. So we have a passport program. We brought back the paper passport. So during COVID, it went just digital. We transitioned to an old school paper passport where you can actually get stamps at different winery tasting rooms. And if you complete the entire passport book, so get every one of those wineries stamped, you get entered for a chance to win a VIP custom grand prize travel experience in New Jersey. And the Secretary of Agriculture selects the winner every year.
Wow. Yeah.
It's outstanding. We also just launched a new digital version of the passport with our partners. And we have a lot of user-generated content that we can grab through there. So if you're at a winery, instead of getting just a stamp, you could take a picture of yourself enjoying the wines on property.
And can you tell me a little bit more about how you go about getting New Jersey restaurants to serve more of New Jersey wines?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
I believe so wholeheartedly that when people go to wine destinations, whether it's California, New York, Virginia, Texas Hill Country, international wine destinations, the one thing that you can typically see is that when you walk into your hotel, into the restaurant or bar area, there will certainly be at least a wine from that destination, if not several, or a completely dedicated wine list with local wines. So we do have a road ahead of us in order to build some more of those relationships. But I'm happy to share that we have a very strong partnership with the New Jersey Restaurant and Hospitality Association. And their new executive director attended our New Jersey Wine Expo. And we are building an inroad so that restaurants that are interested in featuring New Jersey wines should shortly be able to taste them and have a path for getting them on their lists. Our goal ultimately, though, is to make sure that they're also at hotel bars and restaurants as well.
And how do you go about promoting New Jersey as a wine destination?
Aside from speaking with incredible people like you on programs like this, we do everything and anything possible to reach the consumer. We make sure that we are on all major media platforms with positive stories about what's happening in the weekend ahead. We plan events. We have 2 signature events that I'm happy to share more about. We talk to people in other organizations. We partner with the New Jersey Ag Society to make sure people remember that we're farmers first. And I think most importantly is our relationships from our growers to the classroom. So we make sure that folks going for their degrees in higher education, they understand that the wine industry is an open door for just about every discipline. And our goal genuinely is to pique the interest of farmers so that potentially they'll diversify their crops, even if they're just growing New Jersey grapes, which are very sought after. And potentially they'll develop tasting rooms like some of our families did in the state that used to just grow things like cabbage or pumpkins or apples, and now they have award-winning tasting rooms.
And then how do you go about representing, because there's so many different models of wineries throughout the state?
It's a really good question. I go back to my grandmother who used to say, that's why Howard Johnson's has 31 flavors of ice cream. For those of you who don't know, Howard Johnson's used to sell ice cream. So for us, I think that there are different palates and different experiences that everyone's looking for. So you can go to places up north like Old York Cellars and have paella on Fridays and listen to comedians and live music. You can go a few blocks down and visit Villa Milagro and Alba Vineyards and have a different type of experience that is a little more offline. You can also take a look at their events. They all have wonderful events, culinary inspired events, live music. And then you could go to Beneducci's and see their beautiful gardens and how the expansive landscape really makes you question, am I really in New Jersey? Then you can come down south and experience wineries that have some of the best views of the heartland of the Garden State with cows outside of Salem County and Gloucester County. So we really do have everything from soup to nuts, whether you're up north in the hill country or down south with the sandy soils of Cape May. I think that we kind of have all those bases covered.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, it's very good.
And what are the categories of membership in the Garden State Wine Growers Association?
We have several categories of membership, as well as sponsorships and partnerships available for folks who want to get involved and sit at the table with us. And we're always happy to welcome new folks. So we have a hospitality membership that allows for hotels to join and experience the huge lift that we put towards and behind every one of our partners. So that can help them promote, New Jersey wine related initiatives that they have. We have vineyard memberships and winery memberships. And then we have associate memberships for businesses that are not related to the hospitality industry who want to support and get in front of the wineries. And then we have our partnership program. So a lot of our partners are other nonprofits that truly just help us get the word out about how incredible our wineries are.
And what are some of the major events sponsored by the Garden State Wine Growers?
That is such a great question. Well, depending on when folks are going to be viewing this, we are on the doorsteps of the first historic event that we're launching in 2026 called Sips, Stars, and Stripes, a New Jersey Wine Revolution on May 30th, 2026 to celebrate America 250 in partnership with the Department of Agriculture and Revolution New Jersey, which of course is tied into America 250. So that event will be taking place at the Trenton War Memorial. It is going to be an incredible experience, a can't miss one day only event. and we hope that you and your viewers come and join us. We also have our second signature event going on its third year called the New Jersey Wine Expo, which has been taking place at Bell Works in Holmdale. For those who don't know, that is the location of one of these television shows that I, for some reason, can't think of right now, where they sever your brain when you go to work. So maybe that's why I can't remember. It's called Severance. So Severance is filmed at Bell Works. It's also where Bell Labs had its discovery of the touch tone phone numbers. So it's a beautiful, large building in the middle of a neighborhood called The Reserve, I believe. And the New Jersey Wine Expo takes place annually during November, which is New Jersey Wine Month.
Right.
And it is an absolute can't miss event as well, where we have more wineries in history that have ever gathered before in one place at one time. We should call the Guinness Book of World Records.
And how do you go about arranging for legislation that's beneficial to the wine industry?
So that is a really good question. It's a very complex answer that I could give, but I'm going to give a very simple one.
Okay.
I believe that the way that we go about working on favorable legislation is by friend making and reminding folks that we're farmers first. So we keep the garden in the garden state. All of our wineries are mandated to grow contiguous acres to their tasting rooms, which keeps them away from the downtowns and away from the main streets and away from the population dense parts of our state. So a lot of favorable legislation that is on the books right now really supports our presence closer to where the population centers are. And we're very grateful for everything that all of our elected officials have done to bring us to where we are today.
And a follow-up question, how do you keep up with the breaking news in the wine industry?
Well, there are lots of organizations that we're a part of. One is called Wine America, and in a short period of time, I'll be going to DC with some of those folks. So every state in America has a wine association. So there are 50 executive directors, and we're getting together to have some conversations about all sorts of things that impact the wine industry. We also stay very dialed in with our partners at Chambers of Commerce and Business Action Center. The state of New Jersey is beautiful because it has so many media outlets and writers that are actually based here. So that's truly how we stay dialed in. We're a part of the news, but we also love reading about other innovations from our partners in other segments of business and industry as well.
And then follow up to that, we're looking at trends. Which of the trends would you say are here to stay and which are just passing fads?
It's a really good question. I would say that one of the here to stay movements would be experiences. People are looking to create memories.
Yes.
And in New Jersey, I think because we have evolved so much over the past few decades, coming to a New Jersey winery brings you a very unassuming, you don't have to have your pinky in the air while you pick your glass up experience. So I believe that people love the fact that we are a grounded group of folks in the state who are happy to demystify the beautiful experience of enjoying wine.
And let's turn to climate change. How's that affecting grape growing?
I would just say even the regular weather trends are a challenge for all wineries all over the world, because one night, like last night, it could drop to freezing temperatures.
That's true.
And some of our wineries have to do creative things in order to insulate their grapes, with fans running in reverse, with helicopters, pushing heat down. There are so many things that our wineries have to do when temperatures either spike or have an unexpected freeze. I think that we also are a part of Porta Portugal. It's a Portuguese-based nonprofit that ties together all wine destinations internationally so that you could have conversations with folks in other countries that might mimic the growing conditions of your destination, and that really does help proactively prepare our fields in ways that we may not think of by taking a page out of the playbook from some of those guys.
And turning to another dimension, there are a lot of misconceptions. What misconceptions do people have about wine?
We are very proud of everything that grows in New Jersey. And for some reason, people don't have the ability to see that because we grow exceptional grapes, that it translates quite equally into an exceptional bottle. There is a don't judge a book by its cover sentiment that we're trying to remind people they were taught as children that they need to bring to the table when they're enjoying a bottle of wine as well.
And where do you see the wine industry headed in the next decade?
I think people are proud of New Jersey wine. I think people from New Jersey truly are our biggest champions. And I think that they are not going to tolerate any negativity surrounding our bottles. And so what I'm excited about in the next decade is seeing and hearing more people speak positively about New Jersey wine because of our residents and our partnerships.
Yeah. And what advice would you give to someone who wants to start a winery?
Give me a call and visit New Jersey Wines, WINES, because one isn't enough.com. And we have tons of resources, and we're also a very helpful community of people. We're all mom and pop owned businesses, and we are in the fields, we're in the tasting rooms, we're in the boardrooms. So all of your soon-to-be competitors are actually the people who get you started in the Garden State.
And following up on that, what advice would you give to a young person who's considering a career in the wine industry?
I would say that the main thing that they can absolutely bank on is no matter what their talents, there will be a seat at the table for them. So our recommendation is to explore the wonderful colleges and universities in the Garden State, start to talk to others in the industry, potentially set up informational interviews with existing owners, and consider attending events. It's a really good way to meet a large number of people at one time in the industry.
What can people do to support the wine industry here in New Jersey?
There are so many things that people can do today to support the New Jersey wine industry. The easiest is speaking favorably about it. So when you're at a cocktail party, making sure that you ask for New Jersey wine, that is a winner right there. Also, the next time you go to a restaurant, ask for New Jersey wine when you're at that restaurant. That will help increase demand. The other thing that people can do with their handy little smartphones is follow us and engage with us on social media. So we're New Jersey Wine on Instagram, and you'll be able to find everything from there with the link in bio. Visiting our website to see all the events at wineries, picking up a passport the next time you go to a winery, and making sure you use that passport and tell others about it as you go through your travels. And then I believe that a bottle of New Jersey wine is the best thing to put in a stocking for the holidays. So maybe consider picking up bottles of New Jersey wine for your holiday gifts to your friends, family, and coworkers. I think all of those things allow for people to not just support the wineries by purchasing wines, but speaking nicely about our wineries and engaging with their content on social media helps every one of us more than you can imagine. So I think that those are probably, that's a good way to start, I'll say.
So, Devon, I want to thank you for appearing here on East Brunswick Television and sharing all your knowledge with us. Thank you very much.
It is my pleasure, and I was wondering if, as we close out, could we do a quick cheers to New Jersey wine together with these? Cheers to New Jersey wine.